I'm sure that many of you have heard that Senator Daniel Natin, Attorney Aloysius Stowe, and I, Chairman, Secretary General, and Standard Bearer of the Alternative National Congress, the ANC, have been threatened with arrest and are currently on trial before the Monrovia Magisterial Court at the Temple of Justice. We have been ridiculously charged with forgery and criminal conspiracy. The accusations underlying these charges are totally false and completely baseless. Our accusers, Mr. Benani Ure and his All-Liberian Party, the ALP, and the government of Liberia, know these charges are baseless and false. We also know that Mr. Ure and the government of Liberia are not alone in this conspiracy to lie and tarnish our heart-earned reputation and integrity. Sadly, to break up the CPP, Mr. Ure and the government are being cheered on by other leaders of the CPP. These leaders are afraid that we will defeat them in a CPP democratic primary, the process we agreed to use to choose the standard bearer of the CPP. These individuals, aware that they will lose to us, now want to break their promises to the Liberian people, but are too cowardly to take responsibility for breaking up the CPP. Hence, they are joining with the government to contrive a lawsuit against the CPP after almost 2 years of its continued existence under the same set of rules and obligations which applies to all parties, including the ANC. Feeling betrayed? Of course we are disappointed. But we are not afraid of these accusations, nor are we worried by the hypocrisy. We know the truth is on our side. We have assembled a team of great lawyers through whom we are confident the truth will be revealed, the hypocrisy will be exposed, and we will win and be vindicated. However, I'm concerned about the misdirection of our country. The conspiracy to politically prosecute opponents, aided and abetted by some members of the opposition, is bad for our young democracy. With blood, tears, and treasure, Liberians paid too high a price for our democracy, for the right to freely and fairly choose our leaders. Too often, we have allowed ourselves to think that politics is not our collective business, that it should be left to the politicians while we go about tending our daily private lives. Well, politics also determines the conditions under which we will go about our daily private lives. In fact, it determines whether our lives will be private, safe, secure, and peaceful. Politics controls everything, including how we live and what our future will be. This is why when the government begins to act dangerously, provocatively, and unfairly to threaten our peace, privacy, and democracy, we must wake up and pay attention. We must stand up and express our strong disagreements against this public wrong, because it is dangerous for all of us. When the government does the wrong things, even under the pretext of politics, In the end, it affects all of us. It affects our freedoms and our rights. It affects our economy. The prices of commodities, including rice, dry fish, palm oil, clothes, shoes, just to name a few. It affects the opportunities our country needs to attract foreign investments and thereby create jobs for Liberians and for Liberian businesses. It affects our cost of living, from kerosene to fire coal, airtime for our telephones, which is already too expensive. It affects the cost of rent and building materials. Everything is affected when the government puts its hands in the wrong type of politics. And so, the right politics will lift up our nation, just as the wrong politics will pull us down. From mosques to churches, civil society to traditional communities, and from schools to marketplaces, we share the duty not to help the wrong kind of politics become the order of its neutrality. The courts should referee our democracy, not be used to destroy it. Democratic governments do not abuse the courts or try to get them involved in political matters. But this is what is happening here. This is what this we-led government is doing. They are doing this to exclude me, but the actions will also affect each and every Liberian citizen, because it is your right to choose the leader you want that is being denied you. If this government is conniving to lock away its primary competition, it means 2023 will be a joke rather than a chance to seriously change the direction of our country and improve the lives of our people. The Way administration, with the help of some of our opposition friends, are conniving to come after me because they know I and the ANC represent a different threat. We represent a serious commitment to change the corrupt political system. They know that I and the ANC are the only ones with the integrity to say what we mean and mean what we say. And they know we will keep the promises we make to the Liberian people. In order to target me and the ANC, the others would gladly break up the CPP and will not lose one night of sleep over breaking the promises to the Liberian people. While lying to our people and breaking promises are normal for many in the current system and for some in the opposition, it goes against the very fabric of what I and the ANC believe and stand for. This is why they have trumped up these false charges against me and the ANC. This is what this trial is about. This is wrong politics. And all Liberians need to pay close attention to this and join us in acting and speaking out against it. In 2023 and beyond, Liberians have a right to choose who their leaders will be. In 2023 and beyond, Liberians have a right to choose who their leaders will be. Neither this government nor its favored opposition candidate has any business deciding for the Liberian people who they would like to run against them by politically prosecuting the candidate they are afraid of, so as to exclude him or her from the electoral process. There are many examples all over the world where this type of behavior is practiced, and it has led to some of the longest running and most devastating regimes and conflicts in the world. In such situations, the people who suffer most are the everyday citizens, and those who benefit are those at the top. The right to choose our leaders is not one of the rights we gave to the government to exercise on our behalf. Therefore, the government conniving to do this is a violation of us and an abuse of the powers we have constitutionally given them. In times such as these, we must not remain on the sidelines. We must not remain silent. The right to choose our leaders every 6 years or in any election is a right we the people continue to constitutionally withhold for ourselves. Through this trial, again, this is wrong politics, and it is dangerous for the peace of our nation. A famous historian once said, "Great events do not happen overnight." This is true. It is the little wrongs that happen every day, which when allowed to go unchecked, eventually breaks into big wrongs, which are often too late to be checked or stopped. This is why I'm asking all of us to pay close attention, to be concerned, and to speak out now. To speak out now. This government removed an associate justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia and effectively frightened the judiciary. Now they are conspiring to choose who they would prefer to run against in 2023. We must not let them succeed. Imagine one of the greatest football players in the world and his quote-unquote world-class team are scared to face my new squad because they know we will beat them any day of the week. So rather than be embarrassed on the pitch, they are trying to have my team disqualified because we would take, before we even take the field. Disqualified before we even take the field. I, Senator Natin, and Attorney Toh are in the docket at the magisterial court, but make no mistake, the citizenship rights of every man, woman, and child of Liberia is on trial. Justice within our beautiful borders is on trial. The democracy for which our grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, and cousins bled and died for, voluntarily and involuntarily, is on trial. Our right to choose a leader and a real change in the direction of our country and the lives of our people is on trial. This is our chance to decide the future of our country. This is our chance to redefine ourselves. This is our chance for a better Liberia. Let us not miss this chance. Let us not miss this chance. Whether we will be a weakened opposition in 2023 or a strong resistance to the corruption and failures of the Weah-led government is on trial. Whether we will continue to accept the mismanagement of our country's natural resources, by which we continue to be counted among the poorest and most corrupt nations on earth, is on trial. We cannot choose to be silent and uninterested, or the outcome will certainly haunt all of us. We will all continue to suffer. We will all continue to have to struggle for work. We will all continue to beg to feed ourselves. We will all continue to have to live with the shame and embarrassment that we picked a leader who continues to fail us again and again while enriching himself and his friends. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to be heard. It is not enough that we only wish the right things to happen in our country. Now is the time to make the right things happen. History has shown that the continued silence and inaction of any people will only feed the dangerous wrongs leaders selfishly perpetuate against the people. Now is the time to act strongly and decisively so that we do not enable the resistance of a discredited system to overcome our desires for real change. As I've often said, change is hard. The people who are benefiting from the corrupt system will naturally fight against those who want to change it. We handed them the nation's wallet, hoping they would invest for us. But all they have done is taking money out of our pockets. Liberians are worse than spectators to their own economy. We are not even in the VIP section, stadium wing, or around the field. In our own country, we are on the outside of the fence looking in and begging for tickets. Those who want change cannot just stand by and watch. Real change requires all of us believing, speaking, and acting for it to happen. Often, for real change to happen, people have to stand up and stand together. We have to act strongly and speak decisively. Regardless of your tribe, religion, gender, or party, I know deep inside we can all agree that our country must change. We must change the direction of Liberia and improve the living conditions of our people. We simply cannot continue in this leaderless, irresponsible, and corrupt way. My fellow Liberians, for too long, we have been divided by tribe, gender, region, religion, and political party. But let us not forget, suffering has no tribe, hunger has no religion, struggle has no gender. That is why the poverty we all see and experience every day cuts deep across every tribe, every gender, every region, every religion, and every political party. One thing is abundantly clear: from our shorelines to our eco-rich forests, from mines filled with untapped gold, iron ore, and diamonds, to potential offshore oil reserves, Liberia is too rich for Liberians to be so poor. Liberia is too rich for Liberians to be so poor. From right here in Monrovia to the remotest villages and towns across Liberia, everywhere I go, it breaks my heart to see our people living in such poor and inhumane conditions, and to hear their stories of repeated hopelessness, broken promises, and despair. We are too old to be the better nation that we are, unable to feed ourselves and looking for handouts from the rest of the world. While our leaders steal and plunder the nation's wealth, too many of our mothers are dying at childbirth and from treatable illnesses because of a poor health delivery system. While we waste resources and our leaders are lavishly gloating in ill-gotten wealth, too many of our children are dying before they reach their 5th birthday. Our leaders are partying and enjoying themselves. They are building new homes both here in Liberia and abroad. They are buying themselves expensive vehicles and sending their children to fancy schools, while the government is failing to support our schools. Our schools are then failing our children, and too many of our children are dropping out and being left too far behind with no future. Enough is enough, my people. Enough is enough. Too many of our old and retired citizens are forced to become beggars with little to no care for the disabled and others with disabilities. Our government should be looking to take care of its elders. Yet, we continue to lose our way, to lose our values, with leaders taking no responsibilities, showing no vision, no leadership, while too many of our people are suffering, giving up, and dying. Again, enough is enough. Enough is enough. My fellow Liberians, I know too many of you have given up on change. For too long, promises have been made only to be broken. For too long, you have been promised equality in the distribution of the nation's wealth, only to see our leaders make themselves rich and richer as Liberians become poor and poorer. Doors of opportunities are being shut in your faces because you happen to belong to a tribe or a religion or even a gender. The stealing from the people has only gotten worse and worse. Well, this too is why they fear me. I am not a typical politician. The government knows it cannot bribe me or shut me up. My friends in the CPP know I'm dead serious about the promises I make. My track record of results speak for themselves. My opponents know they cannot frighten me or blackmail me, not even with false charges and political prosecution. They know this because all I am interested in is helping to change our country for the better, to make us do the right things because it will make Liberia better. And they know I mean it. And so, today, I ask you not to lose hope. Now is not the time to give up. Like they say, when evil men connive, good people must unite. If you think things are bad, or if you are unhappy with where our country is, or if you are tired of your living conditions, all across the various tribes, regions, religions, genders, and parties, if we don't stand up and act together as strongly and as decisively as we should for real change, I assure you, things will only get worse. And it will not just their children tomorrow. Wake up today for your future and the future of all of our children. Stand up. Stand together. Be heard. Be seen. Liberia needs all of us to get better. And all of us need a better Liberia. God bless you, and may God bless Liberia. Only get worse. And it will not, or if you're tired of your living conditions, all across the various tribes, this too is why they fear me. I am not a typical politician. The government knows it cannot bribe me or shut me up. My friends in the CPP know I'm dead serious about the promises I make. My track record of results speak for themselves. My opponents know they cannot frighten me or blackmail me, not even with false charges and political prosecution. They know this because all I am interested in is helping to change our country for the better, to make us do the right things, because it will make Liberia better. And they know I mean it. And so, today, I ask you not to lose hope. Now is not the time to give up. Like they say, when evil men connive, good people must unite. If you think things are bad, or if you are unhappy with where our country is, or if you are tired of your living conditions, all across the various tribes, regions, religions, genders, and parties, if we don't stand up and act together as strongly and as decisively as we should for real change, I assure you, things will only get worse. And it will not change their children tomorrow. Wake up today for your future and the future of. If you think things are bad, or if you are unhappy with where our country is, or if you are tired of your living conditions, all across the various tribes, regions, religions, genders, and parties, if we don't stand up and act together as strongly and as decisively as we should for real change, I assure you, things will only get worse. And it will not change their children tomorrow. Wake up today for your future and the future of all of our children. Stand up. Stand together. Be heard. Be seen. Liberia needs all of us to get better. And all of us need a better Liberia. God bless you, and may God bless Liberia. I thank you. As Liberians become poor and poorer, doors of opportunities are being shut in your faces because you happen to belong to a tribe or a religion or even a gender. The stealing from the people has only gotten worse and worse. Well, This too is why they fear me. I am not a typical politician. The government knows it cannot bribe me or shut me up. My friends in the CPP know I'm dead serious about the promises I make. My track record of results.
So let's see. So some people are jealous because I took photo with Mr. Cummings. So they are going back and looking for my old video to prove what. So they're going back and looking for my old video there to prove what. You see what jealousy can do to people? So they're going there and looking for my old video. Let them go look for it. It's online. Let them go look for it. Because they're jealous. How can the guy went to Florida, took picture with Cummings, is now hanging out with the big boys, and they cannot get over it? So I just thought to share it because I've been laughing here all day. All those that sent me the video. I went there, took picture with the beautiful girls, came back in my car, tried to tell you guys. I took picture with the beautiful girls and stuff like that. So it hurting them. It's hurting them. So all they can do now is to go buy for OO video when Jay Rennie was campaigning. All right? So what could we do for them? It's nothing but jealousy. It's nothing but jealousy. You listen to what Mr. Cummings talking about. You will imagine those are things they will be focused on, talking about. But instead they're going for way back video there. For what? For what? So they're going to be online tonight looking at it. Imagine that. They're going to be online tonight looking for J Ready OO video. Let them go. All the video online. There's nothing I'm going to take down because nothing going to come down. But that's who they are. They will not sleep. Right now I come to go to bed. I will sleep the baby because that envy is burning inside of them. It will grind them up. It will eat them up. All those, especially the men that watching that show, watch all of them. They are all jealous men. I will not call their names here, but most of them that are watching that show, they are all what? Jealous men. The men in the ANC are more jealous than the women. Yes, they are more jealous than the women. And that's why you see most of them saying that over there. But I'm glad I am the man I am. Because so we are as president through my sweat. Coming is rising through my sweat. And they are jealous. They've been talking for Coming all these years. And Coming hasn't recognized them. Coming don't know them. So it's hurting them to see J Ready coming and just going up there. All right. So guys, you enjoy yourself. We'll be back. I gotta go to bed, and then tomorrow morning I'll be coming here to be broadcasting into Liberia tomorrow. So you have yourself a good day. The only thing that I have done now, let me tell you guys now. Those who are not my friends will not see my video anymore. Yes. Those who are not my friends will not see my video anymore. Only those of you who are my friends will see my video. Those who I know are very envious of me, I will start to cut them loose. I will start to cut them loose because I already know them. They're not coming around my children. They're not coming around me. I will not be in any company with them. If I do go to Maryland, I'm going to be by myself, not them. I already know them now. I already know the jealousy in them now. I know them now. And you will also know them. So as I catch them, I'll be posting them for you guys. For men to be jealous is a shame. When I was in school, my jealousy was always to make my grades to be the top in our class, but not to be jealous of somebody because of their talent. That's just who they are. And you see them. But you know what? We are in the game. We are now hanging with the big boys because we are making great things. All right? So you enjoy yourself. I'm about to go to bed. It's going to 12 midnight. I'll be back here tomorrow morning broadcasting. And then hopefully by Friday, we'll be back here again to broadcast. All right? So I see you guys. Let them go and be looking for all the views. You see some of the views that you're giving to them. All right? But forward we go, backward never. We got to go. It's called campaign. It's called campaign. All right? They don't understand. They are just jealous of the people. So guys, I got to see you, man. I got to go to bed. Tired here. Go to bed. Go read all my posts then. There are more posts coming up. All right? Go read all my posts. More posts will be coming up. I see you guys. Yes. Let's see here. Let me see what my guests say here. All right. Let them drink cold. They think hurting them. They think it's hurting them because when we took pictures, they're not in the photo. So it hurting them. They can't get over it. Yes. They cannot get over it. It hurting them. It will burn them. It hurting them and it will burn them. They want you to hurting them too. They want you hurting them. Because imagine when I came back, everybody had interview with me, right? Because they know what Kyobo was doing. So it hurting them. You now know who the jealous people are. For men to be jealous, I am not going to be taking any man call easily now. I would rather talk to women now. Most of the men that I see today, I'm not going to be taking their call, and they know themselves. So if you're watching here, I know who you are now. I'm not going to be talking to you anymore. You carry gossip from one place to another. That's what you do for a living. So don't call me. I will be more focused on the young people in Liberia. But the men in America here, Canada, Europe, I'm not going to be having any conversation with them. Except for the men in Liberia. That's where the conversation going. So you enjoy yourself. I see you guys. All right. Good night to everyone. I'm going to sleep sound because I got to wake up to come back here and start my real thing. All right. So watch out for some of my posting. I see you guys. Bye.